This is TY back with another video, and I wanted to talk about the Ugas situation, and I wanted to talk about the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. So I guess news is out that Ugas was rejected the opportunity to try to fight Errol Spence for the WBA title, and so now he is ordered to face Stanionis, I think his name is. He's going to be fighting him. And so now, so that fight's going to be the fight now that we can't, we won't be able to get the Ugas and Spence fight for the unifications. Errol Spence has the IBF and the WBC titles, and Yordenis Ugas has the WBA title, which Ugas had defeated Manny Pacquiao maybe 2 to 3 months ago. So now Ugas will have to fight Stanionis instead of the unification fight with Errol Spence, which I don't understand why Ugas is not getting the chance to fight Spence for a unification. You would think that for a unification that Ugas would get that opportunity, but now he won't get that opportunity. Now he will have to fight Stanionis, and I think he has to fight another person as well. It's like a tournament that they're going to have. And so now that leaves Errol Spence without someone to fight. And so now, are we able to see Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford now? Terrence Crawford has came off a successful fight against Sean Porter, which he stopped Sean Porter. So now, neither one of them have a fight coming up. So now the question is, can we get the fight now between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford? I hope that we get that fight. I hope that fight is next. Seeing as Errol Spence has already stated that, he's not trying to fight no tune-ups. He's looking to fight the big names. He wants to fight all the guys, the top guys in the welterweight division. So I'm really hoping, man, that now Spence and Crawford can fight. Because I believe this is one of the biggest fights that we have right now in the sport of boxing. And it's going to be a great fight. I believe this is going to be a great fight. These are two guys that are going to bring it. They are also two guys that are both undefeated. And these two guys' styles, man, the styles makes fights. Errol Spence is a guy that he can box. He can use his jab. He's got probably one of the best jabs in boxing. I would say him, Jamal Charlo, Triple G has a good jab as well. Just to name a few, those guys have some of the best jabs, and Errol Spence has one of the best jabs in boxing. And so that fight right there, man. And then you have Terrence Crawford, where Terrence Crawford has it all. He's got all the tools. He's a switch hitter, he fights on the outside, and he's a great finisher if he gets you hurt. So this makes for a great fight. They both are dogs, and this would be, to me, it's going to be a classic fight. If this fight is made. And my prediction for this fight, man, I can't make a prediction. This fight is 50-50 to me, and I believe this fight is going to be close. And my honest opinion, I believe this fight could end up being a draw, because I feel like this fight would be so good that these guys will have to run this. They will have to run this fight back again, because I believe it would be too close. I believe that there will be some rounds where you'll be like, hey, I think Spence won that round, and some people might dispute and think that Crawford won the round. I think there might be there might be a turning point, but I believe that the fight will be close. The only way that this fight doesn't be close is if somebody gets knocked down. And I could, it's just so many different outcomes to this fight, man. Somebody could get knocked down. Somebody could get stopped. There could be several knockdowns in this fight. It's just a great fight. It's a great fight. Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford is a great, great classic fight. And I believe it is a fight that we will talk about for years to come. So I'm really hoping that this fight ends up being next. Now that Ordenis Ugas is going to be fighting Stanionis, it only leaves these two guys left to fight each other now. Terrence Crawford is no longer on Top Rank now. He is a free agent. He said in the press conference, while Bob Arum was sitting right next to him, he said that if Bob couldn't give him the Spence fight, then how can he give him the Spence fight now? So now I'm just hoping that this fight gets made. I just don't want to see these two guys, man. I don't want to see a what if, I don't want to see another what if fight, a fight that never got a chance to see. We never got a chance to see if these guys was in their primes, or there's something that we have to talk about for years to come. What if them guys would have fought? Who would have won? I don't want to see that. We have too many fights so far in this decade, or it's just in this era alone that we've missed out on. We missed out on Wilder and Joshua. At that time, Wilder and Joshua were both undefeated and knocking everybody out. We didn't get that fight. Jarrett Hurd versus Jermell Charlo. We didn't get that fight when both guys were Jarrett Hurd had 3 of the belts and Charlo had 1 of the belts. We didn't get that fight. The list goes on and on. And then also you got to look at, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao is another example. The fight was several years too late. Both guys, you can kind of say they both were out of their primes and they weren't really the same fighters. And that fight should have been made maybe around 2009, 2010. So I just don't want to see the same thing happen for Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, man. These are 2 of the best welterweights in the division. They both have belts. They both are undefeated. They both are in their primes right now. This fight should be made right now. This fight has to be made right now. Now that Ugas is tied up with Stanionis and he has to fight him, and then he might have to fight another fight after that. So it only makes sense for Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence to fight. And like I said, the prediction for me, I could see this fight being a draw. I could see this fight being close. I could see them running it back and running it back again. Heck, if it's really good, this fight could be a trilogy. This could be just like how Wilder and Fury was. It could be a trilogy. This could be some really good classic fights and fights that we can talk about for years to come. But I hope that Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight next. This would be, like I said, one of the biggest fights. Both guys, man, they're both dogs. They both are going to bring it. They both are not going to back down. They're both are going to, they're going to bring their A game. And, neither one of them are going to back down. So, like I said, it's going to be, to me, the fight's going to be close. I can see, like I said, rounds, swinging, where you could think that, one round would be for Spence, but then you may say, no, Crawford won that round. It could be a dispute about every single round. I really think that this fight has to be made now, man. We really need to see this fight. I just don't want to see these guys lose out, not only of an opportunity to find out who is the best fighter at 147. I don't want them to miss out on their legacy fight, because this fight is a lot to both of them. They need this fight. We have to figure out who is the top dog at 147 at welterweight. We have to figure that out. We have to know who the top dog is. We also need to know who is the best fighter out of these 2. It's been a lot of back and forth, and a lot of people, a lot of fans is on Spence's side. A lot of fans is on Bud's side. There's a lot of dispute about it. So what way to settle a dispute with these 2 guys, making this fight happen? And so I hope this fight happens. As far as for Ugas, man, let's see what happens with Ugas against Stanionis. I believe that Ugas should be able to beat this guy. Should be able to do that. Then I think he has another fight after that that's in this tournament, and then we'll see what happens from there. But now I'm like, well, will we see it? Will we finally be able to see Errol Spence and Terrence Bud Crawford finally get in the ring? And will we finally see this fight? This is a fight that's been brewing for the last few years now, and I want to see this fight. I really want to see this fight, man. This is going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a legendary fight. It's going to be a fight that we are going to talk about for years to come. And I'm definitely going to I'm just going to do what I can do. You know what I'm saying? Either I'm going to order it, or I'm going to probably go, make it to wherever that the fight going to be at, So I hope that this fight gets made. I hope that we get this Spence versus Crawford fight, because we really need this fight. And this would clear up a lot of, the disputes of what's going on, who is the top dog at 147. Like I said, you got a lot of fans that love Spence. You got a lot of fans that love Bud. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Like, who do you guys got, in this fight between Spence versus Bud? Do you got Spence? Do you have Bud? And then how do you see the outcome playing out? Do you see Spence winning by knockout? Do you see Spence winning by decision? Do you see Terrence Crawford stopping Spence, or do you see Crawford winning by decision? And then also, do you see it as a draw? So like the video, subscribe to the channel.